Have you ever paused and quietly asked yourself, how much time do I really have left? Not in fear, but in reflection. Because after 70, every birthday feels less like a number and more like a gift. And whether we notice or not, our bodies have a gentle way of whispering the truth. Some folks in their 70s still move with purpose, speak with clarity, and carry an energy that defies their age. Others find themselves slowing down, not just in steps, but in spirit, weighed down by fatigue or the aches that didn't used to be there. Why the difference? It often comes down to a few quiet signs, subtle things, but they speak volumes about how your journey ahead might unfold. In this video, I want to walk with you through 7 signs that researchers and doctors have discovered. Signs that are not myths or guesses, but real patterns found in people who live longer, stronger, and fuller lives. By the end, you'll know how to read the signals in your own life. And more importantly, what small, meaningful changes you can start making today to add years to your life and life to your years. If that sounds valuable to you, if you're someone who believes growing older doesn't have to mean fading away, I'd be grateful if you'd support this channel. Just give this video a thumbs up or subscribe so you don't miss more helpful content made just for you. And if you're watching, drop a quick 1 in the comments. That tells me you're here, and it helps me keep making videos that truly matter. Now, let's begin.
Sign number 1. The pace of your steps tells a story. Let me ask you something simple. How fast do you walk these days? You might not think much of it, but that quiet rhythm of your steps, whether quick and steady or slow and hesitant, might be saying more about your future than any medical report. Most people assume that how long we live comes down to things like family history, blood pressure, or diet. And sure, those matter, but there's one overlooked clue that doctors now say can predict your longevity better than almost anything else. Your walking speed. Not just how far you can walk, but how confidently you move through everyday life. Because when your stride is strong, it usually means your muscles are working, your heart is pumping well, and your brain is still firing sharply. Think about it like this. Joe and Frank are both 75. Joe still takes his morning walk, rain or shine. His steps are sure and even. When he crosses the street or climbs the stairs, he doesn't think twice. He moves like someone who still trusts his body. Frank? He used to be just as active, but these days his steps are shorter. He tires easily. Even walking across the parking lot feels like a chore, and every once in a while he wobbles, just enough to make him nervous. That slow fade in movement, it's not just old age. It can be your body waving a red flag. Weakening muscles, stiff joints, poor blood flow, or even early changes in your brain. And once walking gets hard, many people stop moving. But when you stop moving, everything else starts to slow down too. Strength, energy, confidence. It's a cycle that can be hard to climb out of. But here's the good news. You can change the pace. Your walking speed is one of the few things that you still have control over, no matter your age. Start small. A lap around your block. A stroll after dinner. March in place while watching TV. Every step matters. Even light strength training, balance practice, and gentle stretching can bring back a steady stride. Simple choices like using the stairs instead of the elevator or standing up more often build momentum over time, because how you move through life, literally, can shape how long and how well you keep moving. So today, I invite you to pay attention to your steps, not with fear, but with curiosity and care. You deserve to walk with strength, with grace, and with the freedom that comes from knowing your body still has more life to give. Sign number 2. The strength in your hands speaks volumes. Here's something most people overlook, but it could quietly predict how well you'll live as you age. The strength of your grip. Not long ago, a firm handshake was just a sign of character. Confidence, respect, maybe even pride. But today, doctors and researchers know it's more than that. Your grip strength is actually one of the clearest signals of your body's overall health and aging. A strong grip doesn't just help you carry bags or open jars. It reveals that your muscles are holding on, your blood is flowing well, and your nervous system is still sharp and responsive. All of that matters more than ever after 70. Take Robert, for instance. He's 78 and still takes pride in the firmness of his handshake. Why? Because he's earned it. He moves every day, lifts light weights, and keeps his body working. Everyday tasks like unscrewing bottle caps or carrying groceries, still easy for him. His hands haven't forgotten what strength feels like. But then there's Walter, also 78, but lately he's noticed something off. His water bottle cap feels harder to twist. His grip on his briefcase has weakened. And when holding on to things, it takes more effort than it used to. At first, he shrugged it off. That's just old age, he thought. But it wasn't just age. It was his body quietly signaling that it was starting to let go. You see, your hands are like messengers. When your grip starts to fade, it's often a sign that your whole body, arms, legs, balance, and stability might be slowly slipping too. And when strength fades, so does independence. But here's what gives me hope. You can turn it around. Muscle loss isn't a life sentence. You can rebuild strength at any age, one small, steady habit at a time. Squeeze a tennis ball while watching TV. Use a hand gripper when you're waiting in line. Do gentle wrist curls or carry a small bag of groceries on purpose, not just out of necessity. Even gardening, folding laundry, or washing dishes can help, as long as your hands stay moving. Consistency, not intensity, is what makes the real difference. Tiny efforts done regularly, that's how strength returns. So take a moment now. Clasp your hands. Squeeze gently. Does it still feel strong? Or have you noticed it slipping, even just a little? If yes, don't ignore it. Because how tightly you can hold on to something today may shape how well you hold on to your freedom, your confidence, and your daily life in the years ahead. Sign number 3. Can you stand on one foot? Your balance might be telling you more than you think. We rarely think about balance until the day we realize we're starting to lose it. Maybe it happens while reaching for something on a shelf, and suddenly we need the counter for support. Or we turn too quickly and feel a slight wobble. Nothing big, just enough to feel different. But here's the truth. Your ability to stay steady on your feet could quietly be one of the strongest signs of how long and how well you'll live. Research shows that if you can stand on one leg for just 10 seconds without swaying or holding onto something, you're more likely to live a longer, healthier, and more independent life. On the other hand, if your balance is slipping, the risk of falling, breaking a bone, or facing serious health challenges rises sharply. Let me tell you about Carol and Nancy, both in their early 70s. Carol has always taken small steps to stay active. She stretches in the morning, walks her dog, and enjoys simple yoga. When she lifts one foot off the ground, she stays centered, calm, steady, in control. Nancy, though, never gave balance much thought, but now when she tries the same test, she wobbles. She reaches out for a chair, and beneath her smile, there's a hint of frustration, and maybe even fear. It might seem like a small difference, but it's not, because balance isn't just about muscles. It's a reflection of your brain, your reflexes, your nervous system. And when those things begin to falter, so does your ability to stay safe, mobile, and free. The real danger? One bad fall. One unexpected stumble could lead to months in recovery, or worse, losing the ability to live on your own. But here's the good news. Balance can be rebuilt. One day, one step at a time. Even if you feel unsteady now, your body still wants to work with you. You just have to give it the chance. Start small. Try standing on one foot for a few seconds while brushing your teeth. Practice walking heel to toe in a straight line across your living room. Or explore gentle movements like Tai Chi or yoga, both proven to strengthen the connection between body and mind. The earlier you start, the stronger your balance becomes, and the more confident you'll feel moving through life. So here's a simple test. Stand up. Slowly lift one foot. Hold for 10 seconds. How did it feel? If it was easy, wonderful, keep going. If it was hard, don't panic, but don't dismiss it either, because the steadier you stand today, the longer you may walk freely tomorrow. Sign number 4. How you sleep tonight could shape the rest of your life. Let me ask you something personal. When was the last time you woke up feeling truly rested? Not just awake, but calm, clear, and energized, like your body had a chance to recharge overnight. We often treat sleep like a light switch. Turn it off, turn it on. But as we grow older, sleep becomes something deeper. It's no longer just about rest. It becomes a vital part of healing, like your body's nightly repair shop. Every hour of deep sleep helps patch up worn-out cells, balances your hormones, strengthens your immune system, and even clears toxins from your brain. And studies now show this clearly. People over 70 who sleep well and sleep consistently tend to live longer, stay sharper, and feel more in control of their lives. Let me share the story of two men, both in their mid 70s, Henry and Bill. Henry treats his sleep like a sacred rhythm. He heads to bed at the same time each night, rests for about 7 hours, and wakes up with steady energy. That sleep pattern acts like a reset button, keeping his mind sharp and his body strong. Bill, on the other hand, has had a harder time. He tosses, turns, wakes up in the middle of the night, and sometimes can't fall back asleep. On some nights, he barely gets 5 hours, and even then, it's broken and restless. And it's taking a toll. He's tired in the morning, forgetful, irritable. His blood pressure wavers, his immune system is weaker, even his reflexes seem slower. At first, he blamed age. But the truth? His poor sleep is draining his life force, little by little. If you find yourself lying awake at night, feeling groggy in the morning, or dragging through the day, don't brush it off. That's your body waving a flag saying, please, let me rest better. Sleep struggles can come from many places: stress, poor food choices, not enough movement, or even conditions like sleep apnea. But here's the hope: better sleep is not out of reach. It starts with small, loving adjustments. Dim the lights and put the screens away an hour before bed. Let your body ease into sleep with a warm cup of tea or a calming book. Open the window, cool the room, make it darker and quieter. These little shifts tell your body, you're safe. It's time to rest now. In the morning, get a few minutes of sunlight. It helps reset your sleep clock. And in the evening, try skipping that heavy meal or glass of wine that might be quietly disrupting your rest. Sleep is not wasted time. It's rebuilding time. And if your sleep has changed lately, if you're waking up tired more often than not, now is the moment to act with care. Because how well you rest tonight may decide how much energy, clarity, and resilience you carry into tomorrow. Sign number 5. When food loses its flavor, your health might be whispering for help. Here's something most people don't talk about enough. When your appetite fades, it's not just about eating less. It's a quiet sign that something deeper may be shifting inside. After the age of 70, the way you eat becomes far more important than it used to be. A healthy appetite isn't just about enjoying your meals. It's one of the clearest signs that your body is still functioning well. What? That your muscles are nourished, your immune system is standing strong, and your energy can carry you through the day. Let me tell you about two women, Margaret and Susan. Both are 74. Margaret still finds joy in preparing meals. She chops her vegetables with care, adds a bit of spice, and sits down to eat with presence and gratitude. Her meals are simple but full of color: fruits, whole grains, lean proteins, and it shows. She stays active, remembers things clearly, and moves through her day with lightness and energy. Susan, on the other hand, has changed. She skips meals more often than not. She's just not hungry, she says, and reaches for whatever is easy: crackers, chips, maybe a sweet drink. Without realizing it, she's losing weight, losing strength, and feeling tired in ways she can't quite explain. But her body knows, because when your appetite fades, your body often starts running on empty. Not getting enough nutrients means your muscles shrink, your bones weaken, and even your brain begins to slow down. Suddenly, a simple cold takes longer to recover from. You feel dizzy more often. Or maybe your mind feels foggy, and you can't remember what you walked into the room for. And while Susan thinks this is just part of getting older, it's actually her body raising a quiet red flag. A change in appetite after 70 isn't something to brush off. It could be related to medications, digestion issues, emotional health, or even the early stages of memory decline. But it's never too late to make gentle changes and get ahead of the curve. Here's where to start. Make your meals easier, but not emptier. Choose simple foods that nourish: a soft cooked egg, some fresh fruit, warm broth, a piece of toast with peanut butter. Drink plenty of water. Even a little dehydration can dull your appetite. And if cooking feels like a chore, invite someone to share a meal. Sometimes it's not the food we're missing, it's the company. Try new recipes, adjust your portions, or simply eat smaller meals more often. What matters most is consistency, feeding your body like you would care for a beloved garden, with love, variety, and attention. If you've been losing interest in food, feeling too full too quickly, or dropping weight without meaning to, don't ignore it. Talk to someone. Get it checked. Because the way you eat today directly shapes how strong, clear, and independent you'll stay in the years ahead. So ask yourself gently, am I feeding my body what it really needs? Or have I let that part of life slip away a little? Just know, it's never too late to return to nourishment, to reclaim strength one bite at a time, and to find joy again in the simplest of meals. Sign number 6, how you carry stress could quietly be carrying your health away. Let me ask you something that few people ever do. How do you handle stress when life throws something heavy at you? A health scare, a family worry, a sudden bill you didn't expect? Because by the time we reach our 70s, life doesn't get simpler. If anything, the weight of it all can feel heavier, even if we don't always show it. What most people don't realize is that stress isn't just an emotion, it's physical. It leaves fingerprints on the body, in our blood pressure, our immune system, our energy, and even in how quickly we age. When stress lingers day after day, it can speed up inflammation, weaken your defenses, mess with your sleep, and wear out your heart. Yes, stress can literally shorten your life. But here's the flip side, and it's a powerful one. People who learn to soften their stress tend to age more gracefully, think more clearly, and stay stronger, longer. Not because life is easier for them, but because they've learned how to carry the weight without letting it crush them. Let me tell you about John and Richard. They're both 76. Life hasn't spared either of them. They've faced hospital visits, family tension, money worries, but they've responded very differently. John? He meets stress with steady hands. When something goes wrong, he pauses, breathes. He goes for a walk, calls his daughter, prays or journals quietly in the morning. He focuses on what he can control and lets the rest go. Richard, though, feels like he's constantly fighting an invisible current. Every problem feels too big. He replays it in his head, loses sleep, and wakes up already tired. He's frustrated, anxious, and his body is starting to show it. High blood pressure, restless nights, and a mind that feels more foggy than it used to. What Richard doesn't realize is that his stress isn't just in his head, it's in his cells. Science now shows that long-term stress is a key driver of chronic conditions: heart disease, memory loss, diabetes, and more. When stress becomes a daily habit, even in small doses, it quietly drains the body of its ability to heal, focus, and bounce back. So I ask you gently, how do you carry your stress? Do you give yourself time to rest and reset? Or have you fallen into that quiet loop of worry and tension? Here's the hope. You can learn to manage stress at any age. And often it begins with something simple: a few slow breaths, a short walk outdoors, a laugh with a friend, a prayer, a hug, a moment of stillness. You don't have to do it all, just enough to shift the weight even slightly. And never underestimate the power of connection. A 10-minute chat with someone who listens can do more for your health than any supplement. The truth is, how you handle what's heavy may be the very thing that keeps you feeling light. And that's not just poetic, it's proven. Sign number 7. The people around you could be the strongest medicine you have. Let me share a quiet truth, one that too many people overlook. Your relationships, not just your diet, your steps, or your medicine, may be one of the most powerful predictors of how long and how well you live after 70. It's not just about having someone to talk to. It's about feeling seen, heard, needed. And when that connection fades, the effects aren't just emotional. They ripple through the entire body. Decades of research have made this painfully clear. People who maintain deep, meaningful relationships live longer. They stay sharper. They handle stress better. Their hearts, both literal and emotional, stay stronger. Let's take a look at Eleanor and Barbara, both 78. Eleanor fills her week with little moments of connection. She chats with her childhood friends, meets her book club at the library, and volunteers at her local center. On Sundays, her home smells of warm food and laughter as neighbors and grandchildren gather around her kitchen table. Those relationships, they're not background noise. They're her fuel. They give her purpose, joy, and a steady reason to move through each day with energy and grace. Barbara's days look different. After losing her husband, reaching out to others felt harder. Old friendships quietly faded. She still loves her children and grandchildren deeply, but she holds back, not wanting to bother them. And little by little, her days became quieter. Too quiet. Her mood dimmed. her energy waned, and soon even her body began to slow. Because loneliness isn't just sad, it's harmful. It raises the risk of heart disease, weakens the immune system, and even increases the chance of early memory loss. You see, when we connect with others, even in small ways, the brain lights up, stress levels drop, healing hormones are released, we feel more grounded, more alive. And science backs this up. Meaningful connection lowers inflammation, boosts resilience, and helps you live not just longer, but better. So if you've been spending more time alone lately, if you've hesitated to call someone, or turned down an invitation, or told yourself they're probably too busy anyway, maybe it's time to open that door again. Just a little. Connection doesn't have to mean crowds or constant company. Sometimes all it takes is a simple act: a phone call, a short walk with a neighbor, a shared lunch, joining a group, volunteering, or even just saying hello to the person next to you at the grocery store. One heartfelt conversation can feed the soul as much as a good meal feeds the body. So take that first step. Reach out, not just for your heart, but for your health. Because the relationships you nurture today will be the ones that carry you through the years to come. And your future self, the one who still laughs easily, who still feels joy, will thank you for it. Now that we've walked through these 7 quiet signs that can predict how long and how well you'll live after 70, I invite you to pause, breathe, and reflect. Which one spoke to you the most? Was it how your walking speed might be telling you something? The quiet strength hidden in your handshake? Or the reminder that the people around you may be just as important as the food on your plate? Whatever stood out, that's your starting point, because every one of these signs offers not just a warning, but an opportunity. A chance to care for your body with intention, to move through each day with a little more awareness, and to make simple choices that add up over time. We'd love to hear from you. Take a moment right now and share in the comments. What's one small change you're ready to make for your health? For you or someone you love? Whether it's taking that daily walk, sleeping more soundly, or picking up the phone to reconnect with an old friend. Your journey to a longer, more vibrant life begins with just one small step. If this video brought value to your life, we'd be grateful if you'd give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world to us and helps us keep creating helpful, heartfelt content for people just like you. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Stay well, stay strong, and we'll see you in the next video.